right, this is a yacht hack. A lot of folks don't know what a yacht hack is. I don't either. I literally just came up with that term. But this is what I would consider a yacht hack. I'm somebody, I'll be honest with you, I've never owned a boat. I've operated boats, pontoons and cabin cruisers, nothing major. For decades, I've been fixated on boats. I'm just really attracted to boats. I watch TV shows like Below Deck or Below Deck Mediterranean or Sailing Yacht Below Deck. I like boats. And I think where it also comes from is to own boats like this, and these aren't really boats. I guess I'm really offending the people who own these. These are yachts. So to own something like this, you gotta have a certain, you're gonna have to have a certain lifestyle, but the person you have to become to earn the type of money and the lifestyle it is beyond where I'm at now. So I've always been fixated on it, and that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is we had two members of our team that were just down in the British Virgin Islands looking at real estate, and pretty close to the house that they were staying at was a marina. And again, we're down there looking at what we think is traditional real estate, and Edmund comes back with this really cool hack. He's like, Michael, I know you've been looking at catamarans. Now, I haven't been looking at catamarans with like commitment, like I'm going to buy a catamaran soon. It's been a dream. One I want to put into action. I want to work towards actually owning. And the reason being is, if you know anything about, my story, last year, we spent half of a year traveling the West and spending the cold winter months in Florida in an RV. We're a large family. It was a large RV, but it wasn't that large. It's only 400 square foot. But we've been traveling the country in an RV, and it's a lot of fun. And we had so much fun. We haven't done it over the last 8-9 months. We've kind of been settled down at the farm, but it's a lot of fun. And we got to talking as we're out traveling around, like, this is really cool. We're doing it by land. How cool would it be to do this by sea? Travel the Bahamas or the Virgin Islands. So Edmund knows that I'm super into catamarans right now. And while he's down there, he walks over to the marina and starts talking to the marina about, boats that are there and people that are owning it. And because he opened himself up and had a conversation, it opened up an opportunity to another hack. And it's how to own these without having to spend any of your own money. And the other thing that's cool is he's down there with people that are hundreds of millions of dollars. There was one gentleman that was a billionaire. He's like, it's so funny. These people are already at a financial stage in their life that if they want these things, they could just stroke a check and they own these things. But they still come up with cool ways to utilize other people's money to own things that they don't even have to pay for. So I'll get into the meat and bolts of this. Meat and bolts?
The nuts and bolts.
Nuts and bolts?
Yeah. Weeds.
Yeah, you ever had a meat sandwich that also had bolts in it? Yeah. So I'll get into the nuts and bolts of this, where basically, let's say it's a $2 million catamaran, right? A $2 million catamaran is a pretty good size catamaran. You might be able to get like a 54-foot Aquila, really cool catamaran. That might be closer to $3 million, but let's just say it's a $2 million catamaran. That's at least a 3-bedroom, maybe a 4-bedroom that has crew quarters as well. And catamarans are very stable. So as far as seasickness, if you suffer with that, anyways, I'm getting nerdy on catamarans versus yachts or other boats. Let's say it's a $2 million catamaran. You can actually finance these things for 20 years. The interest rates on boats are actually far better than mortgages right now. So let's say you've got one, you put 20% down. So that's 400 grand, right? That's a down payment, and you finance it for 20 years. It's going to be about a $15,000 payment, right? I know it sounds big, but just hear me out for a second. One, where does the $400,000 come from? Well, we all know people with money. And if you don't, you're in the wrong circle. You need to start getting in circles where you do know people with money. So even the marina was talking about this, where you buy a boat, you actually go in with partners. So maybe you're the one financing it, and maybe you have a partner or two that is the capital partner. They provide the $400,000 down. So again, still no money out of your pocket. Now you finance the rest of the 1.6 through the bank. And the marina is not just a place where you park your boat, it's also a place where it's maintained. So they make money on the maintenance, but they also, more than anything else, they want to be the property manager of the boat. So they want to charter the boat out when you're not utilizing it. And here's how the math shakes out. If you can charter that boat, and keep in mind, this is in the British Virgin Islands, same thing applies in US Virgin Islands or the Bahamas, where there's not really seasons, right? I mean, you could do this 52 weeks out of the year, but if you charter the boat 12 weeks out of 52, so 1 week a month, then that covers all of your expenses, property management fees, marina fees, maintenance, all that. So now the monthly payments of 15 grand are actually covered. In fact, I think Edmund and his family are taking a catamaran out pretty soon. And for 6 days, it's $20,000. That includes captain, crew, catering, etc. So, 1 week out of the month, you own a boat and it doesn't cost you anything. And your partners are also have a boat that they could participate in. They could, say, hey, I've got it for 6 weeks out of the year. Okay, I got it for 6 weeks out of the year. I'm doing this when it's not being chartered out. So how cool would it be to own a boat with no money down out of your own pocket, and it doesn't cost you anything on a monthly basis, but yet you could have your name on the back of it? That's a pretty cool hack. Take care.